Welcome to Road to the Kentucky Derby, presented by Woodford Reserve, and there's no trainer with more horses and live shots in this year's Kentucky Derby than Todd Pletcher. Well, with his win last year with Always Dreaming, Todd Pletcher is now 2 for 48 in the Kentucky Derby, the other win coming with Super Saver, and he always seems to become loaded for bear. He was the master last year of winning the prep races leading up, and he even one-upped himself this year by winning 4 of the 100-point races at DeRosa. Audible, Vino Rosso, Noble Indy, and of course Magnum Moon. How do you sort them out?
I sort them out using the Brisnet speed ratings, and Audible has been fastest to me, so that's the one I like best. But to me, what Pletcher did this year sort of reminds me of the Cleveland Indians last year. They had that long winning streak, and everyone was so excited for the regular season, then they flamed out in the playoffs. Todd Pletcher loves to win Grade 1 races. His owners do too. I'm sure they're thrilled with the prep season. But he's going to be here on May 5th to win, and anything short of the Roses will be a disappointment. I do like Audible to give him the best chance, but I actually like Audible, Vino Rosso, and Noble Indy better than Magnum Moon at the expected prices. Magnum Moon's going to be the shortest price. I like him least.
Audible's probably the most accomplished. Magnum Moon might have the most upside, according to most, maybe not Ed. Vino de Rosso's got a lot of upside as well, and the Noble Indy's going to be a part of the early pace, and he's solid too. But James, recent jockey musical chairs were played where Johnny Velasquez stayed on Vino Rosso, Javier Castellano jumped off Bolt Oro to ride Audible. You've got Luis Saez remaining on Magnum Moon, and then the mount right now on Noble Indy is open. What did you make of those jockey musical chairs? Because most people probably would have picked Audible.
Yeah, and it really affected multiple horses with John V riding Audible in his last start and Javier Castellano riding Bolt Oro. Both of those horses, it was a little bit of a negative connotation with, you know, John V going to Vino, and Vino's the horse I like the best of them. I think he has the most upside, and what I really liked about him was his move on the far turn of the Wood Memorial. I mean, a lot of times that's where the Kentucky Derby is won, on the far turn. I think, you know, Audible obviously has a good turn of foot as well, but I'll take Vino Rosso's late run in the Kentucky Derby over the other Pletcher
What'd you think about his move trying to put Enticed into the rail?
Well, you know, I think he was like intimidating him, and you know, I'm still like, he's got a horse that has a lot of upside, and maybe placing in the Derby is the more realistic scenario. But I do give him a good chance to run well.
It'd be the right price.
I was against him leading up to the Wood Memorial, and it's not too late for me to jump on the bandwagon because he really did. His second time with blinkers run a much better race, and Entice wasn't beating him that day. So if you look at Vino Rosso, Ed, and you look at Magnum Moon, and you look at the two others, and the prices they're going to be, how much are you utilizing Pletcher in your Derby wagers?
Yeah, Audible for sure. I mean, I just can't ignore the fact that other than Justify, Audible has the fastest Brisnet speed ratings of the U.S. horses. So I got to be a homer there and trust that, hey, this is a fast horse. I do like Vino Rosso with the upside, and it's usually when you miss the wedding, you don't want to go to the funeral, but he's still going to be 15 to 1 minimum, and probably closer to 20 to 1. So the price is right on him. It seems like the light bulb went off. The other two, not as much for me.
I'm going to disagree with that, though, and say he'll be shorter than Audible. I think he's going to be that wise guy horse. Is going to get, and we'll get into works later, but that's like one point. I think he's going to be a stud.
I owe you 6 lunches. I'd bet them all to get even that Audible will be shorter.